It is Friday, June 13th, and President Trump delivering a frightening message this morning to Iran. What we saw Israel do last night, their operation was greenlit by the Trump administration. This was a major psyop on all of us. We have the details, but before we get started, thank you for liking and sharing these videos. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. All of it helps, and we appreciate it. So 2 months ago, President Trump gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. Keep that context in mind as we go through what just happened. Today is day 61. Iran's out of time. President Trump this morning delivering another warning to the Ayatollah of Iran. You have a choice. Make a deal or suffer the consequences of the next Israeli attack. An unfortunate statement. This has now become a full-fledged proxy war. We're just waiting to see what Iran does. The U.S. using Israel as its stick. Trump's the carrot, offering terms for a nuke deal. Zero enrichment capability. Zero. That's his term. If you decline, you get the stick. Israel delivering the stick. That's what's happening. Last night, Israel striking Iran, decapitating their nuclear program and military, largely removing the Iranian nuclear threat. The entire Iranian general staff wiped out. All senior Iranian nuclear scientists wiped out, including the head of Iran's general staff of the military, all eliminated. Watch.
First, Caitlin, something I just heard from a senior Israeli official who says that according to Israeli assessments, there are very high chances that the entire Iranian general staff, including the head of the Iranian general staff of the Iranian military, and several senior Iranian nuclear scientists were all eliminated in the Israeli strikes tonight. I hear that again from a senior Israeli official who says that several senior top Iranian military commanders, including the head of the general staff of the Iranian military and senior nuclear scientists, have all been targeted in those strikes. And according to IDF assessments, there's a high chance that they've been eliminated.
I mean, that is really striking intelligence, if that is accurate.
To be clear, this would be comparable to our entire Joint Chiefs of Staff in the U.S. wiped out. Imagine that happened. Israel's Mossad, deeply embedded inside Iran, around Tehran, carrying out their own op before the IDF launched these strikes last night, disabling the Iranian air defense systems. The Bavar 373, Iran's most advanced long-range air defense system that cost billions to build and calibrate, which they said would allow them to thwart any Israel attack, rendered useless. The Israel Defense Force releasing this graphic showing one of the uranium enrichment sites that they targeted last night, located beneath the Natanz nuclear facility in central Iran. Netanyahu saying this after the attacks. Watch.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program.
All of the reporting this week about Trump telling Netanyahu, you better not strike Iran, all for public consumption. Behind the scenes, Trump greenlit Israel's operation. Netanyahu and Trump acting in public to make it look like Trump was treating Israel the same way Obama did during the first Iranian nuke deal, sidelining Israel.
Mr. President, just back on Iran, did you warn Prime Minister Netanyahu against taking some sort of actions that could disrupt the talks there in a phone call last week?
Well, I'd like to be honest. Yes, I did. Next question, please.
Mr. President, just last on sanctions.
I did, yeah.
If Senate Republicans want to push
It's
forward.
not a warning. I said I don't think it's appropriate.
What exactly did you tell him? Did
I
you
just
caution
said
him?
I don't think it's appropriate. We're having very good discussions with him, and I said I don't think it's appropriate right now. Because if we can settle it with a very strong document, very strong, with inspections and no trust. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. So no trust. I want it very strong where we can go in with inspectors, we can take whatever we want, we can blow up whatever we want, but nobody getting killed. We can blow up a lab, but nobody's going to be in the lab, as opposed to everybody being in the lab and blowing it up, right? Two ways of doing it. Yeah, I told him this would be inappropriate to do right now because we're very close to a solution. Now, that could change at any moment, could change with a phone call. But right now, I think they want to make a deal, and if we can make a deal, save a lot of lives.
Purposely sending Steve Witkoff for the sixth round of talks on Wednesday, saying there's no way a strike happens with the U.S. envoy in the region. All of it, part of the operation, catching Iran completely by surprise. Trump warning them this morning, you must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. Do it before it's too late for you. God bless you all. Here's the full statement, posted this morning at 3 a.m. I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come, and they know how to use it. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now, and it will only get worse. There has already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there's nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it's too late. God bless you all. 2 days ago, on Wednesday, Iran's IRGC commander, Hossein Salami, saying this. Watch.
برخورد آتی ما با صهیونیست‌ها از جنس وعده‌های صادق نیست، بسیار کوبنده‌تر، ویرانگرتر و مخربتر خواهد بود.
2 days later, he's gone. The person with that job really has a short life expectancy. During Trump's first term, they took out Qasem Soleimani. Now this guy, plus the entire Iranian general staff. I wouldn't want that job. This morning, protests erupting in Iran, demanding severe punishment for Israel and the United States. Now we wait for Iran's response, which may take a while, considering how disoriented they are right now. They have no military leadership left. Axios reporting 2 Israeli officials claiming that Trump and his aides were only pretending to oppose an Israeli attack in public and didn't express opposition in private. We had a clear U.S. green light. The goal, they say, was to convince Iran that no attack was imminent and make sure Iranians on Israel's target list wouldn't move to new locations. Netanyahu's aides even briefed Israeli reporters that Trump had tried to put the brakes on an Israeli strike in a call on Monday, when in reality, the call dealt with coordination ahead of the attack. If that's true, it's unfortunate. I don't like hearing that. Have these people thought this through? What would a war between Iran and Israel look like? Between Iran and the United States? Because you know that's what's coming. Clearly, Netanyahu's hoping to drag the U.S. into some sort of kinetic conflict with Iran, who, by the way, is still trying to assassinate our president, still trying to assassinate Trump in retaliation with Qasem Soleimani. Trump warning Iran don't even think about it. If they were to do that, if you were to do that, I've left instructions for total obliteration.
It's Iran and their proxies who have threatened to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani.
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do, not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why. Lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it. If that happens to a leader, or close to a leader, frankly, if you had other people involved also, you would call for total obliteration of a state that did it. That would include Iran.
I don't like war. It's bad for business. It's expensive. It's rarely successful. All it causes is suffering. And it's easy to start a war, but extremely difficult to end one, which is why they last for so damn long. And who suffers in the meantime? All of us, all the normal people are who suffer. So what's Trump thinking here? Look, I think he's looking at this from a negotiation point of view. He's laid out his terms: zero enrichment capability. We'll cut a deal, remove all sanctions, but zero enrichment. Iran not budging. For successful diplomacy, you need the threat of military intervention to be real. If the Iranians in the world think Trump's all talk and no bite, this may be what he believes is needed to get things moving again. But it was a risk, a huge gamble. I don't for a minute believe Trump looks at this ideologically like previous presidents did or certain U.S. senators currently do. If this was George Bush, Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, I'd be much more concerned. They'd be leading us into some holy war. With Trump, I do believe he views this transactionally. The problem is Israel doesn't. Netanyahu very much wants a war, and Trump needs to be so careful. All it takes is Iran retaliating, killing an American, then all bets are off. That's all it takes for this to just spin out of control. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you support Trump greenlighting this? How do you think Iran will end up responding? Let me know what you think. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.